All right, so we are here at Quora HQ. I have been a writer on Quora for a long time. Love the platform. We're here with Alecia, and I'll let you make an intro. Like, tell me what you do at Quora and what it's like to work here too.
Absolutely. So my name is Alecia Morgan. I work on Quora's marketing team and head of publishing, and work on outreach for sessions as well. We're also working on content marketing strategy with the ads team. So I've worked for Quora for about a year full-time now and spent 4 years as a contractor before I joined the company, working on the publishing team as well. So been around a while. I'm a 5-time top writer, so I know what I'm talking about.
So how has Quora changed in the time that you've been here, both as a company and also as a platform?
So as a company, we've grown. When I first began as a contractor, I think there were 43 employees, and we currently sit at about 200.
Wow.
So we still have a very lean team given the amount of users we have. I think we hit something like 200 million monthly uniques a couple months ago. And a team of 200. So we do believe in lean startup. But I guess company-wise, that's probably been the biggest change for us. As a platform, we've just grown tremendously in topics and questions and answers that we have. We used to be very heavy in certain topics, and I think that the distribution of people writing on Quora has really started to even out over the last few years. We've had some notable writers come on. We've hosted Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine in the last year, Justin Trudeau, a lot of fun people.
He's a good-looking gentleman.
Yes, I actually just received a letter from him in his office yesterday thanking us for the top writer jacket we sent him. So 100% framing that.
So how can someone be successful in Quora? If I'm let's say I don't know much about Quora, and I'm getting started, what can I do to be, to be a successful writer?
Well, first we want you to enjoy the product. Everything that you do depends on how much you enjoy it. So whether it's reading or writing or asking questions, we want you to have a good experience. So focus on the topics and questions that you're most interested in. As a question asker, we would say, ask a lot of questions, send some ask to answer requests. We'll suggest a list for you, but you can also kind of search by credential. If you send those things out, you'll get better answers to your questions. As a writer, we really suggest that you look for something that you're passionate about and interested in, things that you might have a unique experience for, whether that's how I started my company X, Y, and Z things, or here's what I learned after having my 4th kid. Whatever that happens to be that you're passionate about, those are the things you should start in on. At Quora, we really respect a good, helpful answer. So if you can answer a question well and thoroughly, you should do it. And again, it really doesn't matter what the topic is. If you're passionate and interested in it, you probably will write a great answer. That being said, there are a few key things that we like in an answer. We like relevant, topical expertise. So I write both in marketing. As a former Starbucks employee, I'll write about coffee. And I have 4 children, so I'll write about kids now and again. And then we ask that you really include your relevant, interesting experiences and insights and your thoughts, and back them up where you can with reliable facts from whether it's outside research or your own experience. If your answer is more credible, then you're likely to get a good following on Quora.
What are some weird questions that have like large followings on Quora?
So, we like to think that we have some of the world's best knowledge, and that, again, is in all topics. So we have questions that are, what's the weirdest thing that you've seen as X, Y, and Z? I recently read one that was, I think it was what's the weirdest thing you've experienced as a flight attendant? And the answer was actually by a captain. But he had a really good experience with his flight. He had a turbulent flight. They wrote about it, and he actually had a picture where the can had exploded because it was so turbulent, and he had written the date and time of his flight on the bottom. So That was a really fun one for me.
I read a question on Quora the other day, answered to what's the craziest thing that's ever happened on an airplane? And
it was pilot.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a turbulence thing, and it was a really turbulent landing, and the pilot got on the PA, and he was like, and that's why they pay me the big bucks. And so I love that. Another weird story, actually. I met my friend Paul here. Say hi.
Hi.
On Quora. Someone was asking me a question about San Francisco and what it was like to live there, and I was like, oh, come, contact me. And so I met Paul, and we've been good friends ever since, and it all happened because Quora enabled it.
Yeah, strangers meeting on the internet. There is a happy ending sometimes.
Yeah, take Paul's word for it. So anything else that you want to talk about the platform, where it's come from, and what types of writers are going to have the most success on the platform?
Sure. So, we've come from a place where we were very Silicon Valley centric when we started, and now we're a huge global community. We feel like, as we branch out into other languages, we're currently open in Spanish, French, Italian, and we recently opened German. And we will continue until we've
Sprechen Sie
hit
Deutsch?
everything. Yes. So, as we grow, I think, the writers that can now access Quora are going to be much more numerous and varied. And I think as we continue, we want really people who are just interested in learning and sharing, and growing the world's knowledge. That's our mission. We believe in it firmly. And like I said, we believe in the knowledge being something that's not just about academia, but, we can encompass, like, what was it like to be, in the World Trade Center, or what was it like when, you founded your first company and it was acquired. All of these things are part of the knowledge that people are going to want to know. I often think of it as a way of storytelling, from the campfire days in the cave. This is brought forward, into the internet age. So I may not have that ancestor who could tell me this X, Y, or Z thing, but on Quora, you may have access to that, So we have such a wide variety of people writing that you really get a global community and village that you can learn from for years to come.
And what's that you can share? I'm not asking you to. What's next on Quora? Like what am I going to see in the next year that you can talk about? I don't want to. I don't want to get.
So without giving away any of the inside magic,
good.
I think we'll continue working on our ads platform, make sure it's delivering great ads for people that help, really with a purchase to look up what you want. We're also going to continue experimenting. So we're experimenting with the audio visual, so Quora video. We'll continue to work on voice integration. We've worked on, Alexa and Google Home. We'll continue to do things like that. And really, we'll just continue focusing on what makes our user experience better, and drive more readers and writers to Quora. We want to give people a place to share their stories and their knowledge.
Can you just talk to me about the office? We took a great tour. They have a map where every single person is on the map that works here and where they're from, and it's everywhere. Like, it's really. I'll see if I can. I signed an NDA, so I don't know, but I'll see if I can post a picture of it in the comments. So I'll have to have someone sign off on that maybe.
You can probably manage that.
Okay, good. See, I got proof here that I'm not violating any part of my NDA. So tell me about, walk me to the office. We had a great lunch here. Just talk to me about the Quora office. If someone wants to work here, which they should, it's a beautiful office. Walk me through some of the features.
So we have an office space here in downtown Mountain View. It's on Castro Street. We have an open office space set up where everyone's desk is kind of out arranged amongst teams. So there are no private offices. Our CEO sits right near us and has his own desk and works there.
He's got a balloon.
He does. He has an 8th anniversary Quora balloon, which is a red balloon celebrating his time at the company. Otherwise, we do have glass-walled conference rooms. We're sitting in one right now. We were chatting about, the semi-industrial steampunk feel, which is
look at old-timey lights. Old-timey. You can't even be a place until you have old-timey lights. I think is the.
I think we're an official startup because of this. So our office space is really made for a lot of co-working. So we do have conference rooms you can book of varying sizes. We also just have common areas where you can sit, talk, work on couches. Various teams will be different couch setups, so we definitely own our area. And then we do have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're very spoiled. We get that comped for us. And we have a chef team that brings good food for us.
I can say I've had the lunches at Dropbox, which are the Bay Area standard. Quora is up there. They have salmon at Dropbox, and I had great empanadas at lunch. So it's if you're thinking about, is Quora right for me to work here, and lunch is one of your criteria, check box. So
they feed us nicely. We're actually in the middle of an off-road week, which we were just talking about, which is our version of a hack week. So everyone can work on projects that they're interested or passionate about that maybe didn't have time during the regular workflow. We'll do this for a week, and then we'll have off-road closing ceremonies on Friday where people will present the projects they've done, and some of the projects will actually be on-roaded. So kind of cool. Examples of that?
Yeah, examples.
Yeah.
I'm so predictable.
So this map that he's going to show you is an example, and then also the Sessions product, which I work on, and it's where we've hosted, some of our most notable VIPs. Was an off-road project dream up that became a reality for us. So that's probably the most notable one that people would know about. But otherwise, we do things, internally. So they'll set up some cool systems that help with our calendar invites. I think at one point someone created a better massage scheduling calendar. So, priorities. But yeah, and we almost got run over by a stampede doing an off-road challenge.
It's like 100 interns that came out. I don't know. Yeah.
So they were doing a scavenger hunt for the off-road kind of team building experience. So that was fun.
Now, what's the culture like? I mean, like we just met up at a SaaS event randomly, and she's like, I'm like, can I come down to Quora? I was like, hello, could I impose on you and like steal time in your day? I'm like, 3 people ever have viewed my Quora answer, so like, and she's like, yeah, come down. So like, tell me about the culture here.
Sure. So we have a lot of fun. We do work on a lot of good projects, but in the meantime, we are a very small and lean company. Like I mentioned, we're only at 200 employees, so everybody, pulls their weight and then some. Our work culture is pretty strong, so we'll have people here who are really early, have people who are staying late. Oftentimes I'll meet up with some employees on Slack at midnight when something cool is happening and no one really needs to be there, but everyone wanted to be, so we're there. Otherwise, I think what's interesting is we really value things like pragmatism and working efficiently and really thinking everything through. We're very heavy on looking at what the ROI of things might be before we commit, given our team and resources of actual people bodies doing things. We're very thoughtful about the projects that we work on and their impact. So we met at a SaaS event because we love SaaS, but actually was hosted by one of our top writers, Jason Lemkin, and he's been on the site for ages and has something like 33,000 followers and 34 million views on his answers, so invites us up to chat with companies about why you should be on Quora. So we get to go do some fun things like that. And we like to host people like you in our office to check it out.
I'll should a shout out to Jason's SaaS location on Rhode Island Street in San Francisco. It's beautiful. If you need a co-working space in San Francisco, it's totally the way to go. I worked out of there a couple days ago, and so maybe I can get someone over there to give me a tour of that place too. I like to impose on random people that I meet. Paul, you can attest to that. I can also say it's a very customer-centric company. One thing that Quora has done that I have just loved is they tell me how many people have viewed my answers, and you can actually see the people that have upvoted that and have a conversation with them. And for being such a large site, I mean, I've been really impressed at how personal it is. I mean, it's like, sites like Facebook are okay for your friends. And then there are sites like Twitter where you don't know if it's a, robot or whatever. It's a little unclear. But Quora is like this really interesting mid-ground where you can meet new people and like form connections that doesn't like kind of at a larger scale with people that are just interested in the same things that you are. And so, I really appreciate it from that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that a lot of our users tell us. They've found a good community on Quora to write. We have someone who's writing a book on Claude Shannon. He came onto Quora and said, I found this tiny niche topic, but like everyone I messaged from that was super interested and excited. And he's like, I've met better people on Quora than in any of the advertising I've done. And this was literally just reaching out to say hi because we were all passionate. I found that to be true as well. Many of the people I work with at Quora today began as writers on Quora and were interested in the product and what we were doing and have joined us since. We have a high concentration of top writers amongst our company, and it's not a vanity title. They've all earned it. So we love what we do.
Does that help a candidate out if they're a top writer on Quora? Like, can they?
I don't get any pull on that. If it was up to me, it 100% would. But we definitely wouldn't say no, to top writers applying. We have, like I said, several of them who work, and actually our writer relations lead is a top writer 2 years before he actually joined the company.
Okay.
So yeah.
Can you link your Quora profile when you apply?
Yes. So we definitely will look and see if you're on the site and active. We encourage our employees to be there. Hack it.
Just like if you want a job at Quora, spend the first 6 months answering great questions, and then apply if that's what you're going for. Anything else that you want to say about Quora? I mean, I want to allow you to sort of talk about other pieces that are important.
Sure. We have a lot of great programs on Quora. I personally am very biased, of course, because I run the Publishing Partnerships program, which kind of helps highlight great Quora answers offsite to get us new writers and readers who are interested in the things that we're talking about. But also we're partnering with a lot of cool people. So I just suggest that, explore the site a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Check out our sessions page, check out, the various things that we're doing. We partner with people like The Economist and Washington Post, and we're really interested in that. Jimmy Wales of Wikipedia is active on our site. He's written some great answers about his new projects. So I think, if you're ever wondering about something, before you Google, you should also just throw something out on Quora. You never know what you're going to get back, and it just could be really, really great. Some of the best things I've gotten have been just like a throwaway, like, oh, I'm curious about this. I'm going to type this in, and then I got one of the best answers I've ever read. So.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it too.
I'm
like, I guess I'll throw this on there, and it's like, whoa, I'm really kind of surprised how experts come and like, are you going to charge me for this? Like, should it how does that work? And so it's really impressive that you've allowed people just do this for free. They don't, it's like a knowledge that they've spent their whole life gaining, and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll share it for free.
Yeah.
The internet's crazy.
Yeah, one of my highlights was Hillary Clinton came on the site to write during her campaign, and we asked her a question that I'd been thinking about, which was about how being a grandmother might affect her as a leader, and she answered my question, and I should be kind of immune to this, but I went home and was like, could you answer my question?
Why is Hillary Clinton talking to me? Like, I'm not that's how I would feel. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. I mean, we just invite you to explore, give us feedback, let us know how we can make it better for you.
Well, thank you so much for taking us around and for answering these questions. Now, I'll have to say, you have to find the best Quora question for me to post this video on.
Yes, we will do that. And then some more.
Okay.
You promised me you were going to write.
Okay, You hold me accountable.
We'll get you the map, but you got to give me answers.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you're waiving the NDA, I will hold up my end of the bargain and answer questions too.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And thanks to Paul for taking us down here and for hanging out and come and see Quora. Really appreciate
Always
it.
a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Alecia.
Yes, thanks again. All right, check out, finally, Old Timey Lights. All right, everyone loves Old Timey Lights, so. All right, bye.